This is my movie review of Free Guy starring Ryan Reynolds. I actually only watched this movie because I was stuck on an airplane to Bali for 13 hours and I probably otherwise wouldn't have watched it, but I'm so glad I did watch it because I think it's worth watching and I will explain why. But if you don't like spoilers, just go ahead and scroll past this. The concept of this movie is about an NPC, a non-playable character in a video game who gains consciousness and a personality and realizes that his life is not real because he is in a video game. It was an interesting concept of a movie because I personally wonder sometimes when I look around in this world, in this universe, if I'm in a simulation, if all of us are in a simulation, because I feel like sometimes when I have conversations with people, I feel like they are NPCs. There's literally nothing going on in their head. And I'm just like, I'm on an isolated, lonely island of like, I'm surrounded by people who just don't care about things that otherwise should matter, and I'm the only one who cares for some reason, and it's so lonely and isolating. And I felt like when I was watching that movie, I was like, damn, okay, he's an NPC who's gaining awareness and he's gaining consciousness, so it's like, okay, I feel that, like I'm vibing with that. Something that really stood out to me in that movie is that when the NPCs put on sunglasses, it opens their eyes to a whole new world of things that they didn't know before. Like, it opens up their wealth of knowledge. And he has an extra pair of sunglasses for his best friend, who is also an NPC. His best friend rejects the glasses. He's like, I don't feel comfortable with it. I'm not ready for it. And so he takes the sunglasses. He's like, okay, well, they'll be here for you when you're ready. And it kind of just reminded me of, I guess in this society, there's a lot of people who have the wool pulled over their eyes and they don't want to acknowledge the depths of darkness of what it means to exist as a human being on this planet. There's so much manipulation. There's so much cruelty. There's so much corruption. There's so much that a lot of people would rather be delusional in La La Land and not acknowledge it and not accept it because it's just too painful to bring it to your awareness. And so instead of trying to force and drag his best friend to get on the same level of awareness and consciousness as him, he was just like, okay, cool, like take your time. And I feel like that's what a lot of us do need to do, where it's like, I feel this way about a lot of my family members, where it's like, my eyes have been opened to so many things and I don't feel like I can have real conversations with these people anymore. And it just feels like surface level, just fake niceties. And it just feels like such a waste of time. But you can only meet people where they're at. You can't force people to put the sunglasses on. You can't force people to open up their awareness and their consciousness. So that one little scene in the movie really hit home for me. And I was surprised. The ending of the movie actually made me shed a tear, and it's meant to be a comedy. So it's like, it's so weird. I'm not really a big crier in movies, but something about the end of that movie, like I don't want to give it away, but the way that movie ended was just really touching. I will say I didn't expect to actually enjoy myself watching that movie, but I did. And I think if you're ever really super bored, it is a movie that you might want to give it a chance.